Okay, guys, I'm going to give you a few minutes to try to rejoin me. I don't know why it's showing Wi-Fi on here again because it should not be showing anything. Crap. Let's try it now. Hopefully you guys can join me. We should be live. We should have a decent signal. There's Wi-Fi is not on. So there, okay, Francie, you're joining again. Good. That means the stream went out. Hopefully I'm still fuzzy because I don't know how else to fix it today. Because I am not on a wireless connection any longer. I am not sure what to do. I'm on a wired connection and I'm blurry on Facebook and YouTube. Let's see if I share my screen if it's blurry. The internet is overheated. I'm using the same camera I use all the time. Oh, I bet I know what it is. Hold on. Let me stop something running in the background. All right. Any better? Okay. I was uploading files to Dropbox in the background. So there we go. Too much bandwidth being taken going over there. So, well, depends on who you are. Coco says it's better. Susan says it's not. All right, so I'm still blurry, but my screen is not. Screen blurry, still very blurry. Well, guys, let me look and see what's happening. I get blurry when I move. Well, I don't know what to tell you. All right, we're going to try this. I'm going to try answering questions. I'm sorry, I have no idea why we're blurry. I have no clue. When we go to software, perhaps it will be good. So that's all I can do today. The internet gods are not liking us. Don't know what to tell you. Okay, so the questions that came in were, what happens to your motifs and fills? Is there a best practice for saving them? Here is my personal opinion on this. I always have a folder somewhere else on my computer where my personal fills are kept, and I back that folder up. Okay, because if I have a computer crash, even if I have a backup, unless I have a complete backup, my program files will not necessarily be backed up. So I like to have those in another place in case of a computer crash. And I actually store them on Dropbox so that they're further away from me, and I can recover them and they're not on my physical computer. So I actually have a folder on my computer with them, a folder within P Design so that I can access them easily so I don't have to go digging for them. And then I have them elsewhere stored. So those are my practices. You all are going to have to come up with your own individual way of things that you do. Everybody has their different way of organizing things. That's what I do. Okay. I'm kind of I am the least organized person when it comes to that to tell you anything. So, I mean, I'm organized in a disorganized manner. How's that? Don't look at my desktop is all I say. Just don't look at the desktop. either here or on my computer, because my desktop screen drives people nuts, because usually it has everything I'm currently working on, and then I'll clear it off once a year and get rid of it. So that was the first question. The second one was a copyright question. If she purchased an edge-to-edge design, can you use it to create a fill design for her own use? Depends on what the copyright says for the edge-to-edge person. Now, there's not an easy way to do it. You're going to have to go in and create it just as if it were a background fill. I personally, I mean, you've got it as an edge-to-edge design. The effort that it would require to create it as a decorative fill may be more than you want to deal with. There is not a more automated way to do that. I would say I would just use it as an edge to edge. Most people don't want you to mess with their work. You are correct. You cannot rotate the image. The image is not available. You can't rotate the image in. Okay, so when creating a decorative fill, let's go into the program and look at this. If I go up to my options and I go to Programmable Fill Stitch Creator. And let me bring it over here so y'all can see it over here. And let's go File, New Decorative Fill. All right, when I go to open my template, and let's say I wanted to bring in an ant. There is no rotation tool in here, so you cannot. That is not a possibility in the Decorative Fill app itself. In order to rotate it, you're going to have to open it in an image viewer. So, having said that, is there an easy way to do that? Let's do New Decorative Fill again. Let me go and find, where did I find that one? Decorative Fills. Okay. So let me see here, my Decorative Fill folder. We're going to see if there's one for you to be able to do this easy. If you just open up this right here, you have a rotation. You can rotate basically in 90-degree increments, and then you could resave it. Or you could go into Paint. Open with, I'm trying to find things that you have. If I open it with Microsoft Paint, this may be your easiest way to go. I obviously, sorry, have other editing tools available for me, but you may not have those. So if you look here, you have rotate right 90, rotate left 90, rotate 180 degrees. And if you rotated it right 90 degrees, you could then resave it and bring it back in and use it again. So that is probably your easiest one. Now, if you wanted a free rotation, you're going to have to have an editing program that has more power to it than this. So that's what you have available to you for free. Now, there are programs out there. I believe Inkscape is one of those that is free that you could use. Let me see if I've got that on this computer. I don't know if I do or not. I do. Inkscape. And it probably allows you to rotate as well. I'm pretty sure it does. Let's see if it's going to open. Evidently it doesn't like Windows 11 because it's not opening. Oh, there it goes. Let's see here. Default. That's fine. All right, new document. And let's come right here and do File Open. So this is an Inkscape program, and it is free. for you to be able to download and use. Where did I have those decorative fills? So here's my ant. And we're just going to say, okay, there it is. Now, we should be able to edit and we should be able to rotate. Let's see, where is the rotation tool? You can obviously tell this is one of those programs I use all the time, not. But object, rotate, left, right, horizontal. It's not giving me that option. So, I mean, that may be a paid version for you guys because I am not seeing the option to free rotate. I can reduce its size. Oh, looky there. Tap it twice. There you go. Now you can rotate. So if you tap it once, you see that little handle right there turns into an arrow. That's your free rotation tool. And Inkscape is free. Okay. So that is, once you get it rotated, save it out again. So do a file, save a copy, or save as, whatever you want to do. We'll save a copy, and we'll save this as a image file. I need a JPEG. Nope, that's not going to work. Let's see here. Cancel that. Can we export it? Yes. Export PNG image. There we go. So now, when we come over here, there's my image that we exported, and there it is. It has that black background because transparent SVGs always turn black. So if you don't want that black background, we may have needed to do something else over here. Page. Let's see. See what export as does for us. Looky there, export as JPEG. That will not give you that funky background. All right, so let's see, is it here? I'm looking, guys. Should be right there. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Sorry. Open template. Where did my JPEG go? It did not do it. Well, I be darned. Let's try that one more time. Export as JPEG. Image 17 JPEG. Save it. Replace. Low quality. That is okay. There it is. Still get that weird black background. So don't have to tell you. All right, guys. So yeah. Now I'm going to come over here and read questions. So Rhonda, you have to unzip the file first on your computer. If you're using a Windows computer, if you right mouse click on a zipped file, it will give you the option to extract it. So let me see if I can find a zipped file on my computer here. I just cleaned up my desktop. When y'all know that, I got rid of all kinds of stuff. Let's see here. If I have, what do I have that might have that? Here we go. So if I right mouse click on this, do you see this little word called extract all? That is how you unzip it. And if you unzip it, you can then send that file to your PR1055X. Okay. Let me see here. What else did I have? questions. When I'm testing out a stitch of a decorative fill, I usually will do, well, first of all, I'll check it in a 4x4, and then I'll check it in an 8x8, and then I'll check it in a 10 5/8 by 10 5/8, because I'm looking for the repeats and to see how that works. I do that 4x4 first to see, okay, do I have jump stitches? That's the biggest thing. Are there jumps between things? Is it doing stuff that I don't anticipate? Is it connecting? Are all the pieces connected? And that first 4x4 gives me that size. So whatever size let's say you chose 150% as your default size. Well, then I'm going to need bigger than a 4x4. I want a full repeat in that first hooping that I do. So I could either reduce the size of the decorative fill from 100% or 150 down to 100% to get it in that 4x4, or I can make my square bigger. So if you've got a 4x4 square and you've said it's 150%, then you may need a 6x6 inch hoop. So yeah, you really just kind of have to think about it. You're looking to get one repeat in one hooping to begin with, and you're checking stitches. And I'll be honest, I do that in the software itself. I will watch it, and I will watch the stitch preview of it in a square to see what it's doing. And if I can't get it, no jump stitches there, then I know it's wrong. Okay, so that's my method of doing things. I work on it on the computer first, and when I feel like my stitch preview of it is working correctly, so my stitch simulator, let me kind of give you an idea. Let's come over and so the first thing I'll do is I'll come in here and I'll say size, and I want it at 100 millimeters. That's 4x4. Oh, and I want it 100 by 100. And then I will turn off the outline, and I will turn on a decorative fill. And let's find one that we have. So let's take, for example, the paintbrushes here. Actually, let's just go with the bees. This is one repeat of this fill. So if I want to check, first of all, to see about minimize feed, and I usually work on it in stitch view, not in realistic view. So let's put it in red so you can see it. I want to see where it's going to jump. So I'll play it with my stitch simulator and see what is going to happen for jump stitches. And if I don't have any without an outline, that's the best news ever. But if I do have some without an outline, I look to see if it makes sense where they are. But usually you should be able to have one full repeat without a jump. And if I have a jump, that means I need to go back in and look at my decorative fill and try it again. So that's without an outline, and that is one repeat. So from there, I'll come in and I'll make that shape. Let's pick a different hoop size. Let's go with come to a single needle. Let's go to 200 by, let's do 254 by 254. We'll just go ahead and make it a big honking one. And I'll put it in the center. And once again, you can see there are no jump stitches without my minimize feed button on. So I'm good. That tells me I'm in good shape. If I were to come in here, let me see if I've got one that's nasty. Let me see if I can find one that's being worked on. So this one's one that I was working on. So it was in progress. You can see there are a bunch of jump stitches. So let's go back with this, and let's first of all go back to size, and let's make it 100 by 100. All right. So with minimize feed off, I'm not going to jump. But the way that this one was created, each line there may be a jump in this one. It's just depends on how it's created. So if I make the size of this 100 by 100, then there's my single repeat. This is where I would start looking, because it looks like I've got a jump going right there, and that would not be what I want. But a single repeat of that one looks pretty decent. But let's see what happens. And I'd basically just watch and see where it's going to stitch and what it's going to do. And if it's jumping somewhere I don't like, then I'll go open that decorative fill back up and check it out and see if there is a way I can fix this to make it not jump. And so that last little bit there is my jump. So let's see if I change this down to 99. At 99, there is no jump. It does the full repeat. So you just kind of have to look at it, see what it's going to be like, and see if you can fix it. And if let's say we were in that 254 one, if I turn on my outline of minimizing feed, then I'm not going to have that jump stitch. So that's what you have to look at. So if I let's go back and look at that. And let's go back to size, and we'll make it 254. Control M for middle. And minimize feed. If you still had a bunch of jump stitches, I would worry about it. But if minimize feed is on and you've only got the single start jump, then I wouldn't worry about it too much. You can try to change where that center point is, and that may end up changing where your jump stitches are as well. So let's see if I take off this. So as you play with things, you can actually change where the jump is going to be. Ooh, that I don't like. There you go. So now without minimize feed on, I have the single jump, but just by moving my entry exit point. A little bit convoluted, but that is, I mean, it's kind of one of those, you just play with it till you get it. There's so many variables that can happen, and it depends on how you create it. I mean, you're trying to make them all connect. That is the biggest thing. You're trying to make them all connect. If I'm on the machine, as long as I have that repeat that's itself without a jump, that has no jump stitch, without an outline on it besides the initial jump, then I should be good. Okay. Y'all are not asking any more questions. Am I just talking so much that you're fascinated, or nothing exciting? So the other question was, she's looking for fall themed designs. Do you know of any to recommend? I don't know if you're talking about decorative fills or not, but I am actually going to be releasing some fall decorative fills. So they are not ready just yet. Actually, they're ready. I'm just testing to see. On the motifs, I have to find the smallest size that I can recommend you stitch them. Because anything, if I give you a decorative fill and it comes in on your machine at 10 millimeters, and that's not a size you can stitch it at, I mean, I've got a perfect example. One is pencils and books. If I stitch that at 10 millimeters, it's just a blob. So you got to have your minimums. I've got to give you a minimum recommended size, and that's what I'm working on currently. Other than that, they're ready to go. And I've got to do marketing stuff for them. But you should be able to, I should have those before the end of the month. I will not make any promises, but I'm trying my best to get those done before I leave for, where am I going? Austin on Saturday. Trying my best. Speaking of which, Heather's working on cameras this week. Since she's no longer with Brother, she doesn't have, and I mean, my cameras are not Brother provided, but hers were. So she doesn't have cams for going live. So if you're in the education connection, we are going to try to go live on my birthday. We're going to try to go live on Thursday. So this is birthday week. And it's a matter of whether she can get her, what am I trying to say? Whether she can get her cameras working or not. We would like to do one this week because the next time I'm home is not until, when am I home next? For more than 2 days, it's not until the beginning of September. So, I wasn't soliciting birthday wishes, but thanks, guys. Um, so yeah, the next full week that I'm home is the first week in September. So we were trying to get you one since we have been in crazy mode for the last 3 months. We're trying to get you one this month. So hopefully we can do that. No promises, but hopefully we can do that. Let me see. What were the other questions? You're right, Patty. I leave to go. Okay, so I'm going to Austin this coming weekend. I come back for 2 days. I leave on Wednesday to go to St. Louis for Heidi's sewing, quilting, embroidery extravaganza, crafting extravaganza. I come back. I go straight from there back to Bartlett again. And then after Bartlett, I'm home. So that's the next 3 weeks of my life. I'm back to back, and I just got back Friday. So it's kind of a crazy month. This is I'm seeing myself coming and going. My husband's not going to know what I look like pretty soon. Okay. And Darlene, so the next one, she said years ago she saw a man's shirt for sale in a boat shop, which had a main design of a sailboat. A machine embroidery design of a sailboat. The boat hulls and sails were filled what she would think of as a lightweight ripple fill, and the fill motif captured the angles, the ultimate feeling of a full sail wind. Okay, yes, I can show you that. So let's see here. And I will announce probably in the education connection first on those, Patty. Okay, so let's see here. We have a sailboat in here, I think. Let's go to import transportation. Of course not. That would make too much sense, but this will give you the idea. So pretend this is your sail. I'm going to ungroup this. So pretend this is your sail. How do you make it look like it is flowing with the breeze? I personally would do a spiral or a flexible spiral. The flexible spiral may be your easiest. I don't know. It depends on whether we can make it do what we want it to do. No, I'm not crazy about that one. Let's go with a spiral. Oh, no, that's still not what I want. Let's try a concentric circle. And then come here and decrease your density. Now, from there, you can change where you want that radiating from. So if you want it to look more like it's a full sail, I would pull this down here, and you can see how the wind is popping that up. Or you pick your spot where you think you want it to flow from. The other way you could try to do that is with a piping stitch. It's not going to be quite as forgiving, I don't think. So let's say we do a manual curve on this one and see what we can get. Oh, hello. That's interesting. Well, you little turkey. Well, I've managed to make this look like a mess. Oh, let's go back to manual straight. See if I can't get it back to where we want it to go, to where we can make it do something. Now let's try. Still got a weird shape. I don't like that option either. So my favorite, I think, is a concentric circle. After sitting here playing with them, I would believe I would do concentric circle because that seems to do the best. Let's see if we can do flexible spiral and make it do anything that we like. Ooh, that's kind of cool. So if let's turn off the outline on that one. And let's turn off these. So that one's interesting. It kind of looks like it flows. I might adjust the shape of it a bit. To see if I can't get it looking more, having like a ripple in it. But that gets you with a concentric circle, you can't skew it. So, I mean, that's just the way, and with a flexible spiral, you can't skew it. It's just not possible. So you kind of have to futz with it. But that would be, radial might be an option if we reduce its density as well. Ooh, no. Center point. I like that stitch, but I don't think I like that as far as what we're trying to achieve. So I would say your concentric circle is your best option. And I would have it puffing from right there. All right. I mean, there are other options that you could try to play with, but that's what I get. So, Merrily, well, honestly, that is not a software program that I know. I do not have Merrily. So you're going to have to talk to someone that, I believe that's in Embrilliance. You're going to have to talk to Lisa. Lisa Shaw is the Embrilliance person. That is not something I can help you with. Sorry about that. It's not a Brother software program, so I really can't. It's not one I have. Let's see here. Oh, sorry. You recently purchased a new Stellaire and you'd enjoy any lessons on transferring embroidery designs, creating designs, etc. on the Stellaire. Transferring I can help you with. Creating on the Stellaire, not as much because I don't have a Stellaire, but what I have a Luminaire, which is very similar, and so is the 10 needle. 10 needle is probably the closest to the same tools as what you have on your Stellaire. If you just think of the orientation of it as differently oriented, because 10 needle, the My Design Center screen is oriented this way. On the Stellaire, it's oriented this way. So if you go back and watch some of the videos that Heather and I have done on in the Education Connection on creating designs, any of those can be done on your Stellaire, and I think you should be able to, what am I trying to say? I mean, that they should work for your machine. We do not, I mean, I do not have a Stellaire. I have a 10, I have the Persona, I have the Luminaire, I have a Dream in the other room, but bringing it in here is quite the pain in the patootie. Put a design in. All right, let's see here. Can I show you how to put an embroidery design into the folder on PE Design? Sure. Where from, Francis? What should I wait on, Patty? No, I'm not using Canvas there. The sale was not, I mean, I'm using P Design 11. That's the program that I'm working in today. We never got out of it, so that's where I'm at. Oh, sweet, Marcia, you're getting ready to get back to working, to playing with your toys then, I'm assuming. All right. Yeah, what if you're in my design center on your machine, go watch some of the videos from the Education Connection. From your downloads folder, okay. So if you are wanting to put something in your PE design folder, it's a matter of just moving things over. Okay, so let's see here. First thing you'd want to do is make sure you've extracted it. So let's say I want to put my spring collection 1 in my PE design folder. I would right mouse click on it and copy it, or Control C, and then go to your C drive. So there's an arrow next to the C drive. I'm in File Explorer. Click on the arrow next to Program Files 86. Click on the arrow next to Brother, and then click on the arrow next to PE Design 11. If you want to put it in your library, you can put it in your library. Now, my spring collections, I would not put there. I would put them in my patterns folder because they are decorative fills. So I'd click on my patterns folder, then go over here, right mouse click, and paste. So you'll notice now I have the spring collection fills right there. It's just a basic computer operation, copying and pasting from one place to another, or moving them. That is up to you. I personally like to have them in 2 places. Like I said, I don't want to lose something if my program files go away. If you prefer to save things in your documents, you could put them in documents, and there is a folder here somewhere under P Design 11. You could put them in there instead. I don't save things in documents. It's too many layers for me. That's just my personal opinion. Okay, so let me come back over here. How do you bring a second design in P Design when you already have one open? That is your import window, Vicki. So if you are in, it doesn't matter whether you're in version 7, 8, 9, 10, or 11. Oops, let's go new. If I have a design on my screen, so let's say I open up a design file. Let me find something. Oh, we'll just go here. Library. Oh, don't want a buttonhole. We'll go with that bird. All right, so you'll notice this is open and it says the title of it up here at the top. If I want to add something to this design, I go to my import window on the right-hand side. So in your integrated sewing attributes window, there's an import tab. When you click on the down arrow, you choose where you want to bring it in from. If it's part of the design library, you choose design library. If it's a folder on your computer, choose the folder on your computer, and then click the file folder to find where you saved it. Okay. Now, if you don't want to deal with that, if that's too much trouble for you, and you can, since we have a design viewer here in our software, let me come over here to Program Files x86, Brother. Let's see here, library. So here's my design library. Let's say I want to go to Floral 4. And let's view these in large icons so we can see what they are. So let's say I want to bring this cactus over here. If I click on it and I hold down the control key on my keyboard, I can then drag it into my window. It is now imported into that window. So I could have my bird landing on my cactus and we're good. I would, since I want it to land on it, I would cut that out, paste it back down. Now what I would tell you is I would always do a save as before you mess with that. Because if you don't, you will be sorry. You will have saved over this original file. So having said that, I never open a design. I always import because I am the queen of saving over stuff. Now that opened it. If I just drag it there, it opens it. So I don't, that's not what I wanted to do. Let me open up my software again. I want to hold my control key down and drag it in that window. Now I want to find the other one. So library, design library, it was under birds, right? And let's go to view extra large icons or like, here we go. Now control, drag it over there. There it is. That's how you get two designs on one page. Does that make sense, Miss Vicki? All right, since I talk about computers crashing, you didn't save the key number for P Design. There is not a way to find it. The key for P Design is that dongle. There is not a number to it. There is nothing about it besides that key. Don't ever format that key because you're out of luck. That is what makes your program run. Once you've upgraded your dongle, that's the only time you're going to need that key. Okay. The dongle itself holds on to the fact that you've already upgraded it. If your computer crashes, you need to load things to load the computer back again with the program again, but you can grab that from support.brother.com, search for P Design 11, and you'll be able to grab it. There's more than, there's one that says show all. There's a little spot that says show all, and you should see the full version there because the dongle is what makes it work. You do not need to go back and install your base program, which might be P Design 5. You don't need to go back that far. You just need to go find the version, the last version that you've installed. So it doesn't, since version 8, they have not made us go back and grab that 5.6 whatever. Because the technology in the computers, if you load that on a Windows 11 computer, you will crash. You will make your life miserable. Things don't work very well. So Patty, what'd you say? Yeah, I agree. So you'll know where to find. Doesn't matter where you put them. You need to know where you put them. If you start at the beginning, you can get more organized. So make sure you know where you download them from. So if I have something that came from Pulse, which is who makes the BES4 software, those 2,500 designs that I have, they're in their own folder because that's where they came from. And if you look on let me go show you here. If I go into customer or commercial embroidery designs, I have a folder on my computer that says commercial embroidery designs. Here we go. And underneath there, here they are. They are by designer. I make sure I have them in there by designer so that I know what I have. Otherwise, I don't know where I got it, what the licensing requirements are, any of that information. So I make sure that I keep things in a folder. And like I said, mine's called Commercial Embroidery Designs. That's where all of my purchase designs are. If it comes from iBroidery, it would have a folder called iBroidery. And yeah, having a backup set in the cloud is never a bad thing to do. Never a bad thing to do. So, okay, guys. Let me see if there's any other questions, if there was another one. Okay. The rest of those would take those would be shows of their own. So today we're not going to hit that. Now, I'm trying to think. I will not be here. Actually, I will be here next Tuesday, won't I? Yes, I'll see you next Tuesday. So let's see here. What we got? Oh, okay. Susan, that one's not hard. Hold on. That one I can show you. So let's see here. New. And well, it also depends on the outline itself, but let's say let's just do a basic shape for right now. And you would want that satin stitch outline to be much wider than that. And I would go with about 5 millimeters. If you copy that and you paste it, you can then change the stitch type to a running stitch. And let's change its color to black so you can see. Let me zoom in on it. I must be on a big honking hoop. There you go. And now it's right down the center of it. So like an outline of a font would be the same exact way. So let's see here. If I came in, let's pick a different, let me pick a smaller hoop because yes, I've got the big honking hoop on. Just grab an A because it's a complex letter. It has an inside and an outside. Now this one, depending on the outline, would depend on whether this will work or not. So let's see here. We want our zigzag width to be 5. And then I would home, copy it, paste it, and turn off the fill, and change the outline to a running stitch. And let's change that color to black so you can see it. Now, if you look at it well, we're in 3D mode. I don't care for how that did, so let's look at the outline of this one and change it to points. There you go. Now you don't have that weird corner. But that's the way that particular font was digitized, so it's not really my favorite. But that's how it would be done. If you did a B, let's pick a different font. And that's 5 millimeters. Okay, let's change that color to like yellow. Let's go with pink. Copy and paste. Change it to a running or a triple stitch. You may want to do a triple stitch because that will give it more definition. And I usually change my stitch length to about 5 for those. But you could also go with 3. 3 might look prettier. There you go. But that's pretty easy there. Let's see here. Yes, I agree, Patty. Yeah, when you get this far into it, you do not want to lose your design. So having a backup is never a bad plan. Okay, guys, if there are no other questions today, when you have P Design Maximize, you can't see the file name at the top, Windows 11. Okay, there is a setting on your computer that you can change. I can show you that. So if you go into settings, and let's see here, I believe it's personalization. Let's do display. Display settings. I believe it may be in here. It's been a while since I've done this. Nope. Back up. Let's go to personalization. Well, let's see here. Here we go. Colors. All right, transparency effects. Turn that off. All right, you see mine up here right now? It's not transparent, right? You can see that it says Untitled Layout and Editing. If I come in here and I turn my transparency effects on, I may have to restart for that. Let me try one more thing. Ah, here we go. That's it. Wait a minute. Oop, what did I just do? Accent color and transparency effects. So now you see how it's hard. Whoops, now you see how it's hard to see that. So in your personalization, let's go back and do that again. I'm going to turn this off, and I'm going to come down here and I'm going to turn show accent color on title border bars and borders. That's under personalization and colors. So go back to personalization. We'll look at it again. Choose colors. Turn transparency effects off. Pick your accent color. I like orange because it's bright. Show at whatever your color accent color is, you want to show it. That's what lets you see that title in there really nice. Okay. Does that help, Miss Vicki? And that, I mean, that works for every program that I'm in. It doesn't matter if I'm in P Design or if I'm in BES or if I'm in Word or whatever I'm using. That gives me that title bar at the top. So that way, that whole halo mode where you don't see things and you see through it, I don't like. Because I want to see what the name of my file is. I want to see what I've got going on. Did I save it or not? And that, I mean, that's something that came out, I think, on Windows 8, and I hated it. So that's the first thing I figured out how to get rid of was that little halo look. So you're good. Glad that I could help you out on that one. Any other questions before I sign off for the day? Does not look like there are any questions that I missed besides, boy, it was blurry. Okay. Thanks, Robin. I appreciate that. Y'all have a great rest of your week. If you are part of the Education Connection, stay tuned. I do believe we're going to be able to make this work this week to be able to do something. I was going to show you part of that today, but I guess it will wait over till next week. Truly, we'll see if Heather and I get our act together. So hopefully we'll be able to do that this week. Y'all have a great rest of your week, and I shall see you later. Bye-bye. Thanks for joining.